Hey, what's up everybody? So I've been using the Samsung Galaxy Nexus for just over 2 months now, and I thought now would be a good time to share my thoughts. I know this is a little bit of a delayed review of the phone, seeing as it's been out for such a long time, and I've been using the phone for such a long time. But I thought, you know what, after a long time of using the phone, might be a good idea to share my thoughts on it at this point. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, right off the bat, you'll probably notice that I'm not running the stock Android. In fact, I'm actually running CyanogenMod. Um, I, I'll talk a little bit briefly about it, what I like about CyanogenMod. So here are a couple things that I like up there. Whoops. Um, my power toggle widget, power control widget, I'm sorry, that's right up there at the top of the notification curtain. There are a couple tweaks that were added to the camera, but I won't go into detail on CyanogenMod because that's not what this video is about. Let's talk about the hardware real quick. There are a few things I don't like about the hardware of the phone, and we'll start off with my don't likes. First of all, this phone is a $300 phone, but it doesn't feel like a $300 phone. It feels probably a little bit more like a $150 phone, um, just because of the build quality. It's very plasticky. It feels a little on the flimsy side as far as the overall build quality is concerned. Not a fan of this plasticky back. Although I will say I do like the textured backing of it. I don't like just how flimsy it feels overall. I don't know. Some people like the plastic. Personally, I don't. I think it just feels weak. So, um, that's one thing about it. In conjunction with that, I don't know if this is because the Verizon version had to be built a little bit thicker than the GSM version, but the volume rocker just seems a little bit too small for its housing. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I'm actually able to move it without pressing the volume rocker. It's a little loose, you know, and that's part of my complaint about just how cheap the phone feels for the $300 price tag. Like I was saying, it feels a little bit more like a $150 phone, and even that's a little bit generous, especially with a phone like the Nokia Lumia 900 that's coming out, or that came out recently. Um, that phone with a polycarbonate backing for $100, as far as the build quality is concerned, totally outdoes the Galaxy Nexus. And then a phone like the upcoming HTC One X, that, in my opinion, just looks like a really classy premium phone, is $100 cheaper than the Galaxy Nexus. So, not a huge fan of the build quality. Some people like it. Some people like the plastic build. Personally, not a fan. Um, Another thing that kind of bothers me about the hardware is this sort of bluish tint throughout. Colors just don't seem so natural, especially when looking at pictures. So, I could, pull up a few pictures here. It just, these aren't the greatest pictures in the world, but there's just this blue that appears throughout the operating system, and the colors just don't look natural. So that's another unfortunate thing. But again, it's a little bit subjective. You know, Personally, I like cooler colors, so it appeals to my eye a little bit. It would be really bothersome for me if there were a yellowish tint to it. Super AMOLED screen leads to some discoloration, or some color distortion, not discoloration, but it's just a little bit of distortion as you view it at some extreme angles. And then I guess the biggest knock against the phone would be the battery life. Battery life is just is atrocious on this phone. Now we could take a look at my battery life from today, even though this is a little bit generous because I had plugged it in for about 15 minutes while I was driving home earlier. I got about 16, almost 17 hours on the device with, I don't know if you can see, oh, there it goes. I don't know if you can see, but right under the B in battery, there's a little bit of a spike. That's where I had charged it, just to give it a little bit more life while I was driving home earlier. It's terrible, to be completely honest. And if battery life is a big issue for you, then I would definitely not recommend the phone to you. Me, not as big of an issue, mostly because I always have a charger around with me, either when I'm sitting in my office or in the car. I've got a car charger, so battery life's not a big deal for me because I can always plug it in here and there. But it is really bad, and definitely the biggest knock against the phone. As far as things I like about the hardware, I love the way it feels in my hand as I'm holding it. Despite the plasticky feel that I was mentioning earlier, that in my opinion is a knock against the phone, the curved edges, the curvature of the phone, it feels great. I like the way it feels as I'm holding it. I also like the fact that the battery is removable. That I'm able to carry around an extra battery. That's a big deal, and that manufacturers have come up with an extended battery for it. I believe this is an 1850, although I don't see it on this side. I believe it's an 1850 milliamp hour battery. I know that there's a 2100 milliamp battery that Samsung had made for it. So, that's definitely a plus. Removable batteries, I think, are definitely a plus. Although phones without removable batteries, I wouldn't really knock because generally they have a better design and build quality. But I do like the fact that they have a removable battery on the Galaxy Nexus. I love this curved glass. I think this is a great touch. It just gives the phone that extra sort of premium feel, despite the overall cheap feeling build quality. The curved glass does give it that premium feel. I love the size of the screen. It's 4.65-inch display. I don't think it's too big. Some people might. You might think it's too big. Personally, I think it's just right. It is a little disappointing that while using the phone normally, you don't get to take advantage of all of the screen real estate. That you can only take advantage of all of the whole screen when I don't think it's liking the fact that I'm trying to run Netflix and there's only 4% battery left. But anyway, I better not do that. I don't want to run out of battery while I'm in the middle of showing you the phone. But anyway, while you're watching a video, it does utilize the whole screen. It plays back in 720p, which is fantastic. Video looks fantastic on this phone. It's beautiful, and the colors just pop right out of the screen, and the blacks are just really deep, and that comes from the Super AMOLED display. As far as the software is concerned, there is absolutely nothing on this phone that I don't like. Android 4.0 is fantastic. It is just a beautifully designed operating system. It is buttery smooth. Somebody told me when I was switching over from the iPhone, I've been using the iPhone since 2007, used the iPhone 3G, and the iPhone 4. Someone told me that Android just would not hold a candle up to iOS, and they were right. I mean, with Gingerbread, it was super laggy. I mean, I tested out the MyTouch 3G, and it was just super laggy. But this, with Ice Cream Sandwich, the term lag doesn't even factor into this phone at all. It is beautiful. It is buttery smooth. It is fast. Ice Cream Sandwich is so well designed. and you know, I've got Cyanogen Mod overlaid on top of it, which doesn't add or subtract from the operating system in any way. The Cyanogen Mod build that I have here is built on top of Android 4.0.4 for those of you keeping track at home. I love the way it handles multitasking, and it pulls up apps. I only had 3 apps running, but you just swipe away. I mean, you've seen this before in many other videos, or if you have ice cream sandwich yourself. I love widgets. It's something I didn't even realize that I needed, but now that I have them, I can't imagine living without them. You know, I got my clock widget up there, which is fun to have. My weather widget, I'm referring to every single day. I've got my calendar widget here that's so vitally important. You know, keeping track of my calendar reminders, appointments, etc. Even some fun widgets like this little gallery widget that I've got going on here, my music widget there. I love widgets. The operating system is fantastic. It is beautifully designed. I can't say enough good stuff about Ice Cream Sandwich. So there are only a handful of phones that are shipping with Ice Cream Sandwich: the Galaxy Nexus, the HTC One series, which I would love to get my hands on, particularly the HTC One X. I've seen footage of it. It looks beautiful. The build quality just looks fantastic. That polycarbonate backing just looks awesome. The Super LCD screen, I'm a huge fan of. So I'm kind of lusting after that phone a little bit. I'd love to play with that device. So if I ever get a chance to play with it, I'll see if I can put up a video and let you guys see what I think. Right now, this is what I got. So final thoughts on the phone. I love the Galaxy Nexus. It's a great experience. You know how I feel about the plasticky feel of it. Definitely not a fan. But all of that is quelched by Ice Cream Sandwich on the phone. The Galaxy Nexus definitely takes advantage of Ice Cream Sandwich very well. I mean, I can't. I mean, I've already said everything about the operating system. It's a fantastic operating system. So anyway, that's pretty much it as far as my thoughts on the Galaxy Nexus. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments if you've got a Galaxy Nexus. What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Is the battery life a deal breaker for you? You know, if you're ready for an upgrade, you know, let me know what you think. As far as whether you will be interested in getting the Galaxy Nexus or not. Those are my thoughts. I would recommend it as long as battery life is not an issue for you. If that's an issue for you, then I can't recommend this phone. But it's not a huge issue for me, as I do spend a lot of time in the car, so I can just plug it into my car charger. I sit in my office often, just writing a whole lot of stuff. So I just bring a charger with me into the office and plug it in while I'm sitting there. Let me know what you think. Would love to get some dialogue going on the phone. Anyway, it's ridiculously late. I don't know why I am sitting up making a cell phone review at this time. As you can see, it is almost 2:30 in the morning. I should be in bed, not recording a phone review. And yet here I am, recording a phone review. So I'm rambling, mostly because I probably should be sleeping right now and my body is just crying out for me to hit the sack. So I will do that. Before I go, just want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.